how's it going? We're SideQuestCrafting and welcome to our first project in our new studio. Today we're going to be building 3 fantasy medieval style shop signs, each more complex than the last, with a 1-hour build, a 10-hour build, and a 100-hour build. We've seen a few other creators do this sort of challenge in the past, and we thought it would be really fun to put our own spin on it. During our studio redesign, we made this medieval style shop sign for our channel, and we didn't really get to show that much of it due to time constraints. I think there's like 1 shot in the final reveal, but that's about it. But we liked it so much that we want to make more. So we put up polls on YouTube, Instagram, and Patreon and asked you guys to vote on your favorite fantasy shop. And we are going to build the top 3 choices. And after roughly 48 hours at the time of filming this, the total number of votes across all 3 platforms was 453. Thank you. After crunching numbers and some math, After crunching numbers and some math, Alchemist comes in first place, and then Cartographer, Adventurers, Outpost, and then Blacksmith. And with the votes in, we have designed some sketches. Unfortunately, because Blacksmith came in 4th, we will not be able to craft that one today. But our first sign with a 1-hour build will be Cartographer. I have all the supplies that I think I will need for this 1 hour, maybe too much. I wanted all my bases covered. I'm nervous. I'm probably the most nervous for this 1 hour. I'm not a quick crafter. I guess let's just get going. Let's just get into it. 1 hour starts now. Okay. Just make the sign from the sketchbook backing and then just focus on painting. I think that's going to be the big thing. I think I'm just gonna try chopping this up. Nope. I got scared. Really want to keep working on it. I mean, I think it looks good for having only been an hour. I'm just going to clean all of this up and then we will get started on the 10-hour build. And the 10-hour build is going to be the Adventurer's Outpost /tavern, which we have named the Sturdy Shield. 1 to 10 hours is a huge jump. Primarily going to be made out of XPS foam and paint. That's it. Also, sorry if I'm a bit breathy and dewy. We finished our awesome new studio just in time for summer. Okay, 10 hours starting now. Now. Okay. Okay, gotta keep it proportional.
That 10 hours seems insane.
10 hours is infinite amount of time. Masks ahoy. We just passed 4 hours and we just moved on to painting. The base wood paint of the shield has been completed already. I'm waiting on that to dry. I'm going to paint all the metal bits. I think it's going really well. I think we'll be able to get it all done in time. I think we will. So we're just gonna get back to painting and then we will check back in. Hours is officially up and this sign is complete. I think it looks great. I mean, this looks awesome. Now all that's left is the 100-hour build, which is going to be the Alchemist shop. It's very late, it's very hot. So we will see you tomorrow to begin the Alchemist sign. So it is a new day. The 100-hour timer is set. We're ready to go. We are going to start by building the base of the sign out of wood because we have the time to do it. Hopefully we use up the 100 hours because right now I'm a bit scared that 100 hours is too much time, but we'll see. I'm not sure yet. So let's go. Hours down and we have gotten the base of the sign cut, assembled, sanded, and stained, and I think that's pretty good. It's looking great so far. This sign is going to have a lot of little pieces. The smaller the letters get, the harder it is to carve out of XPS foam, and I think these letters are going to definitely be smaller than the sturdy shield. And we thought that these little pieces would be really great candidates for our new Elegoo Mars 5 Ultra 3D printer. This was graciously sent to us last year, actually, while we were still working on Junimo, and we haven't been able to use it a whole lot. 3D printing was actually the method that we used to get our logo onto the first sign that we made. Yeah, that's it. We just gotta go upstairs and make all the pieces that we want to print, first in Illustrator, then extrude them in Blender, and then take them over to the 3D printer and begin that process. we're at 56 hours. We got a lot done upstairs. We just have to print the potion bottle, the moon, and some sparkles, and then we'll be all done with the 3D printer. The cauldron is pretty much finished for now. The smoke cloud is almost done. We got pretty far with the XPS foam alone, but it looks kind of boxy still and rigid. So I think to make it look a bit more soft and cloud-like, I'm going to build up on the XPS foam with Apoxie Sculpt. Side note though, we ran out to Michael's to get a second thing of Apoxie Sculpt, and we found this little guy in the clearance section all by himself for $1. He's helping me to not stress out because unfortunately I have allowed myself to be lulled into a false sense of security with this time limit. Thought it was an infinite amount of time. 'Tis not. But this little guy, he lets me know that it'll all be okay. Okay, let's go. Okay, the 3D printing is all finished and I'm all done sculpting the cloud and the cauldron. Now we just have 3-ish things left: painting, LEDs, and resin. With the shapes, we are going to paint them first and then fill them with resin. We're gonna try UV resin first and see how that does. I don't know how it'll react to these opaque shapes with the fire and with the liquid coming out of the cauldron. For the sake of time, we want to try something different, to use monster clay to make a guide on this silicone mat and then just pour the resin into that area, cure it, and then remove the monster clay, and hopefully it works. But I think everything is going really well so far. I'm not worried. Caleb might be worried, but I'm not worried. So we're just going to get to all that and then we will check back in. The shapes are all done. I think they turned out great. There are a ton of air bubbles in them, but I think the air bubbles actually work to our advantage this time around, specifically with this sign and the alchemical potionsy-ness of it all. And we were correct in our speculations that the opaqueness of the 3D printed parts were not the best at allowing the light to spread around. Took quite a few passes to get the parts to cure. It still worked, it's just not the most efficient. Also, don't be dum-dums like us and forget to wear gloves and then realize that you're not wearing gloves and then be too stubborn to put on gloves because your hands are already sticky. No, just put on gloves. Wear your gloves. And if you're not in a well-ventilated area, wear a respirator. We have decided to reevaluate our plan going forward. We're still going to use the monster clay to create a guide, but instead of using UV resin, we're going to go back to our tried and true polyurethane resin. This is the same resin that we've used on past projects. We're hoping to shape the flames. Sorry, that was aggressive. We're hoping to shape the flames over the logs and then the liquid coming out of the cauldron as well, hoping that'll give it a bit more dimension. I am just going to start working with the monster clay. It is out warming in the sun right now. We have quite a bit to do, so we are just going to get started on all of that and wrapping this 100-hour build up. We're at 32 hours left, so let's go. Okay, all of the resin pieces are finished. The LEDs have been wired. We did sand the tops of all the LEDs to help the light diffuse more. And we also went with pre-programmed LEDs this time, just for the sake of saving time in this 100-hour build. I think there's about 16 in here. I would also like to address really quickly why my wrist is so red. A couple days ago, I accidentally got some UV resin on my skin. It was when we were putting UV resin on all the edges of these resin pieces because we don't have a whole lot of time to sand and polish them. I was wearing gloves, but some UV resin got on the table and I didn't realize, and I rested my hand on it, but we didn't realize that some UV resin actually got underneath the glove. And I didn't realize it because my hands were all sweaty and I thought it was just sweat. And I wanted to mention that because I just really want to stress, wear your PPE. Please protect yourself. You are valuable. I just wanted to mention that really, really quickly. We are down to 10 hours and 16 minutes and we are just going to try and wrap this project up and finish it all in one 10-hour stretch and just complete this whole 100-hour build. We just have to assemble everything, glue everything, paint, and install all of the lights and electronics, and that's about it. We have everything we need. We have plenty of coffee. Let's just wrap this project up and yeah, let's do it. Tis finished. Let's bring out the contestants, shall we? So here they are with the 1 hour. I mean, it's 1 hour. It's not a whole lot of time to get a lot done. It's doing the best it can. And I am really happy with how it turned out. 10 hours was great. I'm just gonna say it. I think it's my favorite of all three. I feel like 10 hours was just enough time for me to figure out what I wanted to do, but not overcomplicate it. Which brings me to the 100-hour build. At first, I thought it was too much time, which I still stand by. I think it was too much time. And then that allowed it to turn into too little time. We thought we had so much time that we felt this compelling need to fill it with a bunch of stuff that ended up taking too much time, which resulted in too little time at the very end, which, I mean, easy fix. Next time, just don't add so much stuff. The timer was pretty annoying. It was nice to know that each sign had a finite amount of time that could be put into it, but the timer was just like, I still really enjoyed this project. I really enjoyed the challenge, and I do also like that across all of these, I guess in the lore of this world, you can tell that the same sign maker made all three of these, which I do like. The style is consistent. Before we get into the final results, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone for watching. And we have just launched our Patreon. It is brand new, link in the description. This is the first video that we get to actually put up some patrons' names. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined our Patreon and become a member. It really means a lot to us. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking or subscribing. Would love to hear what you think. Please let us know which sign is your favorite. I want to thank you again so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.